All right. Wow, man. It's, this whole Adam22 thing, okay? And he's been receiving a lot of backlash, and so be it, right? Adam22, those you don't know, he runs a successful podcast called No Jumper. And I've been doing it for some years, and super successful. I have like over 1 million subscribers, I think like 4 or 5 million on YouTube, and he has various people coming on there. He has a lot of link into the industry, and then you just his wife here on the right. You have it's called Lena the Plug, and she's a mother. She's gotten into adult entertainment, and you'll think, right? So with Adam22, okay, so initially he disagreed with her going in and performing this adult scene with Jason Love, porn star. Okay, so that didn't really go too well, because then they messaged each other and things of that nature, and he was like, hey, Lena Plug was like, hey, I really want to do this. I think he's cool in the industry. This is just all straight up business, even though they performing sexual acts. Thing is, when you're married, you establish a covenant, a spiritual covenant with one another. Okay, so once that's broken with someone that you being intimate with someone that's not your spouse, yeah, man, I mean, form of adultery, right? So, but with Adam22, man, I have to say this. They was just saying, like, okay, he is really into cucking, right? Someone who gets off into his spouse having sexual intercourse, and then, he literally develops an attraction. Me personally, if I was in a situation like this, I would not allow my wife to do this. Even if she really was all hard on, be like, hey, I want to go ahead and have sex with this person, with that person. I'm like, no, like, we got a family. You can't go up here and just do what you want to do. I think that Adam22 is that if he initially disagreed with the whole the whole act scene, he should have stuck with it instead of him changing his mind. But he believed that on the business perspective, hey, we're gonna make a lot of money, we're gonna be okay, your name's gonna get up there, and I got a huge platform, I can do an interview after you perform this act. And I'm just like, man, it's just, my thing is, though, why would you sacrifice your morals and values just for some cash? Even then too, if you actually look into the No Jumper podcast interview, he was really stating that they didn't really need the money. They were successful. I mean, everything was going right for them. So you will think that, oh, okay, well, no, thank you, Jason Love, or we're not even gonna go ahead and entertain this mess here. But what Adam22 did was not illegal. Okay, you had DJ Academics. Even though I'm not gonna go too much in detail about him, because he's saying like, oh, well, I can't believe he's doing all of this and stuff, and he trying to exploit her and exploit all these problems and stuff. But you look at DJ Academics, he came up with through the Chicago drill rap scene and the Chirac scene. So black people killing each other, and then he just continuously create content about it, and he actually became successful over the years. But with Adam22, man, I'm just thinking like this, like, hey, man, it is what it is. You put that out there, and did she develop a spiritual covenant or attraction with this person? Maybe. Who knows? You can tell that what really was blew my mind is that during the podcast, he actually interviewed Jason Love, and Jason Love was like, oh, he said thank you, and then Adam22 thanked him, for doing this, performing this act, because, this going to be on her OnlyFans, and they're going to make a ton of money. And he responded saying, my pleasure. I was like, oh my goodness. So, but you can tell, like, if you go ahead and watch it, due to his mannerisms and his demeanor, he was completely not into it. He was uncomfortable. Even Lena the Plug was, but they had to do it for the content. And I'm just thinking that you just allowing your spouse to do that, regardless if it's the other way around, if it's your profession. I mean, you're pretty much saying that you don't really care for that person. I mean, because why would you do that? That's the thing too. So, I mean, I don't think that he's going to lose support. People are just going to talk about this for a very long time. They're going to make a ton of money on it. And it is what it is. It's a good marketing ploy, because you got people, not only his fans talking about it, with celebrities as well, right? Crack Mac, people was talking about it. They was going ahead and just criticizing him for it. But hey, this is Adam22. I don't know what's going on through the mind of him. Maybe he has a fetish of that, right? And also too, I mean, I understand there's people like swingers. if you want to go ahead, this my thing is, if you want to go ahead and like, you know, spice up, you know, your sex life, you know, with your spouse, and you agree to it at first, like you wholeheartedly want to go and do that, like, hey, you know, you have sex with my husband or my wife and I have sex with yours, or you can go ahead and do what you want to do with her and I get off to it and it's okay, you know, I just want to spice it up, then all right, so be it, right? You gotta do what you gotta do to, you know, to fulfill, you know, your excitement, okay, legally. But at the same time, if you initially disagree with it and then you turn around and agree with it, that's not a good thing. That's just something that, like, telling me that, okay, you're backtracking this, and either she's manipulating you to do this thing to help her support something that you know that's going to cause scrutiny. That's my thing is with Adam22. You know, you initially disagree with it, but then again, you just went along with it, I guess, to please your, you know, your wife or anything else. But hey, you know, and I look at this too, he rewarded her with a green Lamborghini. A green Lamborghini. So I actually saw that video on TikTok, and are you crazy, man? It was just pure entertainment. I don't think that Adam22 had the influence of someone to be like, oh man, I want to start swinging. Like, no, I mean, that's just, people have been doing that for a while though. It's just the fact that, okay, like he just you know, he's just super open about this, you know, and he's a celebrity, okay, so people gonna talk about this, so you're gonna get a lot of attention, you know, no matter what you do or what you post. But I still believe that Adam22 took an L. You know, so I mean, that's your marriage and everything. But the thing is, too, whatever you put out there is going to be there forever. Then you have a daughter too, you know, that's going to be growing up, or I think they have a daughter, I believe, son or daughter, but they have a child who's going to grow up, especially in their adolescence, elementary school years. You know, stuff is all over the internet now. You can completely access to it. Young parents, kids, man, you know, they're going to be saying some cruel things, I believe. So you got to think about the self-esteem of the child too, you know, displaying your actions. Yeah, you could be making millions of dollars, or even if you homeschool the child, it's still going to be out there. You know, even if she try to do a 360 like Mia Khalifa, right? People still gonna always remind her. She can try to be the president of the United States. People gonna still be like, oh yeah, but back in the day you did this and that. You will always be remembered as someone who has sex with multiple people. Okay, so, but with Lena the Plug, I just would have thought like, hey, you know, we're gonna squash this. Yeah, that was in your past life. We're in a spiritual union with one another. Hey, I'm not gonna go ahead and lay with this individual here. I'm gonna lay with you. Your body is my body. You know what I'm saying? Is mine. My body is yours. Okay. You know. So, I mean, you're thinking the scriptures, 1 Corinthians 7. Like, okay, like, you know. So, I mean, it's just a very covenant type of activity here. But some people do exploit for money. But I don't know. My thing is this. You know, if Adam22, he already knew this about her and about him too. Hey, it is what it is, man. So that's just their marriage. I just don't think it's completely healthy if you're in a spiritual union. But hey, I mean, if you truly care about this person, I just think that he's a little bit uncomfortable. I just think so. You know, something that you initially just disagree with, but you go ahead and agree to it. That's just something telling you in your spirit that something is not sitting right. Okay, so, but that's just my thoughts on the Adam22 thing. I know this is super long. I don't know if anyone wants to go ahead and just stay here for this long. If you did, I appreciate it. Chop it up and in sports, and I'm sorry, in the shorts of my YouTube channel. But I only had like 10 minutes later, so I just have to go ahead and make it quick. But that's just my thoughts on there with the Adam22 thing. You guys tell me what you guys think, man. If you guys, you know, stay here for this long, is it, you know, he's gonna move on from it. People are gonna still talk about it, but I know he's making a ton of money because he's getting that constant exposure. But you know, but why do it? You know, selling your soul for it. You know, if you say you don't need the money, then why would you let your wife go ahead and do it? Is she doing it for fun? You know what I'm saying? Or she want to spice things up? But hey, it is what it is, man. So you guys continue to like, comment, subscribe, share this video. As I already had to say, this is my 2 cents on the whole Adam22 thing. Till we get some more information, I love you guys, man. I'm out. Deuces.